the coffin of Sergeant RaedleGetty Johnson, who was killed in an ambush in Niger, being wheeled to a hearse in Cooper City, Florida, last week. RaedleGetty images. Some of President Trump's liberal critics are characterizing the October 4th ambush in Niger that killed 4 American soldiers as Benghazi on steroids, a reference to the years-long partisan uproar over the 2012 attacks on 2 United States compounds in Libya. A few parallels can be drawn between the incidents. In each, 4 Americans died at the hands of Islamic extremists. After the Benghazi attacks, the Obama administration struggled to explain exactly what happened, and why. And now, President Trump and his top officials have yet to satisfy questions from Congress about the deaths in Niger, Republicans and Democrats said on Thursday. Looking forward to SASC briefing from Pentagon on Niger operation this morning to get the answers Congress needs. John McCain at St. John McCain. October 26, 2017 finished briefing on Niger, U.S. presence in the Sahel and events leading to tragic deaths of 4 U.S. soldiers. Still more questions than answers. Rep. Rick Larson at Rick Larson. October 26, 2017. But popular allegations about Mr. Trump's role in Niger have ranged from premature to conspiratorial. American troops' presence in Niger predates Russia's military agreement with the country. Liberal blog posts, shared online tens of thousands of times, falsely claimed that Mr. Trump sent American troops to Niger to aid Russia. 1. For example, reads 4 U.S. soldiers were killed in Niger 2 weeks ago, and no one knows what they were doing there, except that it came shortly after Niger curiously signed a military cooperation agreement with Russia. Russia and Niger did agree in August to interact in the war on terror, exchange information on military and political issues and the issues of strengthening international security, according to TASS, Russia's news agency. But the United States' presence in Niger predates this agreement by years. In 2013, President Barack Obama announced that American troops had been sent to Niger's capital, Niamey, to set up a new drone base. An image widely shared on Facebook and Twitter states Trump arbitrarily bans Chad with travel ban. Chad withdraws troops fighting ISIS from Niger. ISIS promptly returns to Niger when Chad leaves. 4 Green Berets die as a direct result. But the facts do not support this. 2 of the 4 soldiers killed in the ambush, Staff Sergeant Dustin M. Wright and Staff Sergeant Brian C. Black, were Green Berets. The 2 others were Staff Sergeant Jeremiah W. Johnson and Sergeant RaedleGetty Johnson. Chad was added to Mr. Trump's updated travel ban in late September. In October, around the same time as the ambush, Chad withdrew troops from the Difa region of Niger. But these troops were fighting Boko Haram in the east, while the American soldiers were fighting a different Islamic militant group in Tongo, a village hundreds of miles to the west. These are 2 completely different conflicts, said Laura Say, a professor of African politics at Colby College. Geography aside, she said, there is little evidence that the militants operating in the west were emboldened by Chad's withdrawal in the east, as they were carrying out attacks pretty regularly before the October 4th ambush. It's too early to conclude whether there was misconduct by the Trump administration. Viral social media posts have called the Niger attack Benghazi on steroids, pointing to alleged misconduct by the Trump administration. For example, one post that claims the journalist Dan Rather said that the Trump Pentagon gave these men bad intel, no support, outsourced rescue people. But there is no evidence that Mr. Rather made these remarks, and many details about the Niger ambush have yet to emerge. The Pentagon and FBI are investigating the operation, including discrepancies between American and Nigerian troops' accounts about what prompted the attack. Gen. Joseph F. Dunford, Jr., the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, said in a news conference on Monday that officials on the ground believed that contact with the enemy was unlikely before American forces set out with a Nigerian unit on a routine reconnaissance mission on October 3. We owe you more information, General Dunford said, including whether forces had adequate intelligence, equipment and training, and whether the pre-mission assessment of the threat in the area was accurate. The viral posts are correct that a contractor evacuated the bodies of 3 soldiers killed in action, while the French flew out the wounded. Asked why American troops relied on a contractor for evacuation, Lt. Gen. Kenneth F. McKenzie Jr., the director of the Joint Staff, said last week that the United States relied on contract support around the world, but declined to give specifics about the ambush. But it is inaccurate to suggest American troops played no role at all in the rescue mission. They, alongside French and Nigerian troops, searched for Sergeant Johnson until his body was recovered 2 nights later, General Dunford said. Responses to the tragedies have differed. Beyond the allegations about the causes of the deaths, observers like Daily Kos and the conservative commentator S.E. Cupp have pointed to the disparity between the two administrations' responses to Niger and Benghazi. The Trump administration has been more tight-lipped about the Niger attack than the Obama administration was about Benghazi, though some of the Obama administration's initial claims turned out to be incomplete. In September 2012, militants linked to the extremist group Ansar al-Sharia attacked the United States diplomatic mission and a CIA installation in Benghazi, killing Ambassador J. Christopher Stevens and 3 other Americans. Obama administration officials initially rejected the notion of a premeditated terrorist attack and, in the immediate days that followed, made repeated references to an anti-Muslim video as causing the unrest, a rationale soon revealed to be not entirely accurate. Trump officials, on the other hand, have been largely silent in the 3 weeks since the Niger ambush. Beyond defending his remarks to Sergeant Johnson's widow, Mr. Trump said on Wednesday afternoon that he did not specifically order the Niger mission, though he gave generals the authority to do what's right so that we win. Sarah Huckabee Sanders, the White House press secretary, has repeatedly declined to give details about the raid during news conferences. As for inquiries, the FBI began an investigation 2 days after the Benghazi attacks, and the House Oversight and Government Reform Committee held a hearing about a month after. Congress conducted 8 investigations of the circumstances surrounding the violence in Benghazi, the last of which concluded last year. In the end, lawmakers broadly chided the State Department for being inadequately prepared but did not find any clear misconduct that caused the deaths. The Pentagon said the Niger incident was under investigation 6 days after the deadly attack. Lawmakers in both the House and Senate were briefed by 2 senior Pentagon officials about the details of the attack in a classified session on Thursday, and appeared divided along party lines as to whether the deaths could have been avoided. But senators from both parties agreed that their questions have not been answered. They owe us more information. And I think we'll get it, Senator Roger Wicker, Republican of Mississippi, told CNN.